so directors and CEOs double dealing. We've had a lot of that this week. We had Chesapeake, and fresh off Chesapeake, we had Green Mountain Roasters, coffee company in Vermont. You wrote about these guys. I mean, they're bringing real shame to the great Green Mountain state. The chairman and another guy basically had to quit because they had margin calls.
They had margin calls. They had very big margin calls. The chairman, who's the ex-founder, he's the founder of the company, he was forced to sell about 5 million shares. That's over $100 million worth of stock.
Right.
Which
broke, of course, the rules on selling stock.
Yeah, they say you can't sell stock around earnings. And the problem is that he took out very big loans on this stock, and he's been selling down his shares over time, but he still had a large amount. And he had loans, and then suddenly the stock cratered by about 50% over the past week because it emerged that growth wasn't nearly as fast as everyone had expected.
Right, and you had other people like Labatza and these other shareholders that apparently were rumored to be
selling at the same time.
And the other guy, of course, being the lead independent director. So you've got the two top board members.
So the lead independent director, let me just the guy who's supposed to make sure that people on the board are playing by the rules, he himself was not playing by the rules.
Well, he totally violated one, because what he did is they said, okay, from now on you can't pledge any more shares as collateral. And then he went out and did it. And the problem with that is that Green Mountain's accounting has been under attack from short sellers, saying that there's some awfully fishy-looking things when one company's doing basically most of their sale, a huge chunk of their sales. There are all these questions about how aggressive the company is being. The person who was sent over to look at this, and the SEC is investigating, was the lead independent director. And so the question is,
I mean, what are boards thinking about? I mean, how do these things? How is this allowed to happen? You mean you've been following the Chesapeake situation, which isn't? I mean, it's not all that different among the many
in some respects
issues that
he got caught in margin calls as well. Aubrey McClendon, the CEO.
Well, his was even more egregious because he was caught in a margin call, and he basically, the board said, "Oh, we feel bad for you, so here's $75 million bonus. Go out and buy yourself some more stock."
Of course, he owns what, 50+% of the company, is that right?
No, he sold a huge chunk.
Oh, he's already sold a huge chunk.
Right. Yeah. So, but it's extraordinary. So boards are basically playing a game where they feel that they want their executives to have skin in the game, but at the same time they've created these perverse incentives.
Well, the question is it skin in the game if you're taking a loan out against these things? You know, essentially you look as if you've got a big chunk, but the stock is actually.
It actually means to a great extent it means you have skin in a completely different game, which is simply what happens if this stock goes down and I get in trouble. Then you're completely focused on your own holdings and not actually on aligning the
your
company.
interests with those of shareholders.
Exactly.
That's crazy stuff. Okay, well we'll be back with more Breaking Views tomorrow.